So it's Sunday now, and it's a week since TFN. It's exactly a week since I got back. So I thought about that time that I actually got round to doing my reflections video, because everyone seems to be doing one. I thought I'd do one because I had a really good time, and I just want to run through basically what I did. As soon as I actually got into the reception, I bumped into, almost immediately through the door, Graham, the Collector 75, and Zort Rider was stood there in the queue, waiting to be served. So we had a bit of a chat with them, and a bit of a handshake and a bit of a cuddle, and then we just had a bit of a laugh. And then straight away I saw, straight after that, Wilderness Jay, who obviously that all got resolved, so everybody was happy after that, and everybody was fine. But unfortunately, I couldn't get my key because everybody else was in there trying to get the keys, and nobody was getting any luck at all. So I thought what we'd do, we'd basically check, we'd get us bands on and do all the usual thing and have a bit of a picnic. So we had a picnic in the grounds with my family, and then we went down and got my my bands. Going down to get my bands, I bumped into Jermaine, who was one of the people who run TF and Such group with us. He's a really nice guy, and we went down and got his bands on, and then I tried to get booked in again in the room. This was about 2:45, so I'm thinking 2:45, that's reasonable enough. Got to 2:45, got to the thing, and they said, no, your room's still not ready. So I'm thinking, something's gone right here. There were loads and loads of people milling about in the bar area, and with the cases still, so people weren't getting the rooms. She says, you'll have to wait till 3, and I'm thinking, it's 2:45. There's no chance it's going to be ready for 3 o'clock, so don't worry, I'll queue again. So I queued again, and I got talking to a lad called Stuart in the line, and he recognised me off of YouTube straight away and came up, and we started chatting about car boots and stuff like that, because he goes to car boot sales. Which every single time I was queuing, I ended up chatting to people, and it just flew by. So like 20 minutes later, when we were waiting, it just disappeared in no time at all. And it was great. But then I got to the actual desk at the front, and then I thought, well, it's 3:15 now, so surely I should be able to get my key. And I turned up and I said, is it ready now? And they went, no, I'm sorry, your room's still not ready. And I didn't lose my shit, and I just basically said, unfortunately, I have got children, and we have been here since, I know that we did get here early and all the rest of it, and kind of laid it on a bit thick, but I am good at blagging, I'll be honest. I'm pretty damn good at blagging. Anyway, as a gesture of goodwill for the inconvenience, they upgraded us to the executive treatment. Also, as a gesture of goodwill, we got to use the executive suite, which was very good, which I was half hearing when she was telling me this, and I'm thinking, what? And then she was telling me that at night I can use this thing called the executive bar, and the executive bar was basically between 6 and 8. I got canapes and free drinks, which meant free beer.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
My family were in the room, and they all said that they were going to go to the swimming pool for a little bit and have a little paddle and a splash about. I said that I was going to go down to the bar. I've not arranged to meet anybody, but what I did, I thought, well, I know loads of people now, so I basically palmed myself down to the bar, walked in, and straight away there were loads of people, all the YouTubers and stuff that I know. But I saw Ben's Collectibles was sat there, and I had a bit of a chat with him. But then there was a little table, and on the table was there was Tony and Nolsey and a YouTuber called The Film Guy, who's a really nice lad, and Zort Rider, and my mate Paul and his brother, and a few others, and it was just, everybody was just, and Bisto knocking about as well, and we were just, straight away you walk in and you just see people who you know through the social networks and all the rest of it, and you just start talking and just talking. And before you know it, you've been there for hours just chatting about crap. And so instantly I'm at bar and I'm thinking I'm going to have a few beers just to wet my whistle. And then Bisto brought up this horrific, like, Tyrannosaurus Animorphs thing that everybody, we just sat down just messing about with this thing, just figuring out how shit it was. I was just, what a terrible, terrible Transformer. But that's what I love, is that you can all get together and we can have Transformers that everybody goes, that is amazing. And you can all pick stuff up and you go, that is absolute crap. But it's just so good that you can appreciate these kind of things and have a good time. And that's basically how the weekend went, all the way from all the way from there. It was just great fun. Then more and more people turned up, like the guys from TFYTC were there, and I had a brief but very enjoyable chat with Dave and Brad and Stu and a few of the other ones, including Emily, were there, and a few others, and it was just really nice. It was really good that we could just have a chat. Bumped into the Gaunt brothers, Tim and Chris. I always have a chat with them because they're always a really nice pair of guys. And then you see a few others, like Dave Shotton turned up, and Gary Cook and his girlfriend. And then I bumped into Lee and his girlfriend Emma, and there was Dino and Bill and Matty Grant and just loads and loads and loads, and there were just people everywhere that you just think, oh my god, I know all these people. And then Chris and Nat turned up just as late as bloody usual, and it's fantastic that you kind of know these people, and you just, and even if you just, they know you and you know them, and we all start chatting about crap that we find, and they start ribbing you about things, and it's just such a great atmosphere. It's it is social first and the plastic is second, but that's for me. I mean, that's personally my thing. I understand when, if people are going there and they want to buy the plastic, and if they're not social creatures, you can get out of TFN exactly what you want to get out of TFN. If you want it to be just a social affair, make it a social affair. If you want to go just for the plastic, go for the plastic. If you want to do everything, if you want to go to all the... I mean, I personally, I didn't go to any of the panels. I tried to get into some of the panels, and it was before it all got shifted about. And there wasn't enough room to get in there. And I was a little bit like, oh, this isn't going to happen all bloody time. But I know that they shifted it after that, but I wasn't aware that they were shifting it. And I really should have concentrated more on doing some of the panels. That's probably my biggest regret, is I didn't do the panels as much as I should have done. So next year, hopefully, I'd like to do that a bit more, and I'd like to get a bit more out of the other things that that the conventions put on. So we were there in the bar, and I was having a drink with Jez and a few of those, Chris and Nat and all the rest of them, and at the side of us, all of a sudden, we just noticed that Bob Budiansky was sat at a table with Simon Furman and Jeffrey Senior, and it was like, this is just amazing. That is like the genesis of Transformers, is right there, right sat there. One of them's drinking lager, one of them's drinking bitter, and this is amazing. This is absolutely incredible that these guys who were like they made Transformers what it is. They made our childhood and all the rest of it, whether it be in the film or be in the comic books that I used to read when I was a kid. Those guys invented Transformers. Those guys made it what it is today. Not Michael Bay. You never get Michael Bay in any of the cast of the movie sitting in a bar mixing it up with us dipsticks, silly Transformer collectors. It's just really nice that you can have that. We're just chatting and having a drink. Of course, Jess had a few drinks in him, so he decided to go up and have a bit of a chat with him, which I thought was quite entertaining. The bar is just a real hub. It's just a real hub of the whole convention. It just makes it absolutely fantastic. One of the other things as well that I don't know if anybody really touched on were the quilters that were there that weekend. I ran into these ladies. They were like a big quilting convention that was on at the same time as the Transformer convention, and there are all these ladies that were from middle age up to quite older ladies, and they were the nicest, loveliest ladies you've ever met. Every single time I was stood there with like, Transformers in my hands and a Transformer t-shirt on, and they were going, "Here for the quilting convention, are we, dear?" And I kept going, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'm up for that. Is it good fun?" Anyway, and it was so funny because when we were coming down in the lift, I heard two of them, and they were bitching about another one of the quilters, which I thought was amazing. And I went, "God, I didn't know it were like this. I didn't know that it were that competitive." And they were going, "Oh yeah, yeah." And they were going, "There's one of them. She's all right, bitch." Like that. I'm thinking, "Oh my God, this is brilliant. This is what real life's all about." And it was so funny. They kept saying, "Oh, you must come with us and sit with all of them." And they were in the bar, and there were the Transformer convention and the quilting ladies in the bar together, and it was just lovely. It was really, really nice. They're flirting with each other. It was great. I loved every second on it. Anyway, at night, I went to watch the Michael Bay film with my family in the hall. Quite a few people went when they did the presentation bit, and a lot of the people left. And there weren't that many people watching the Michael Bay film. But my family thoroughly, and myself, we thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was really, really good. The kids got a bit tired. They went to bed, and I carried on having a few drinks in the bar. Which was really nice. It was quite chilled out on the Friday, which I didn't think it would be. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but it wasn't. It was pretty chilled out. I went to bed about, I think it was past midnight, which is quite early to be honest. I should have been a bit later, and it went a bit blurry because I did start drinking quite early, and then I went to bed. Come Saturday, you have to go down. You have the waffles and the coffee and the big fry up. That's the bomb, that. It was really, really cool. The doors opened for the convention, and the queue, I've mentioned it before in one of my videos, was absolutely ridiculous. It went from one end of the hotel to the other. And being a northerner, I'm not queuing. I'm going to wait until it's all gone, then I'm going to walk in. So that's basically what I did. And then I purchased some Transformers, and you can see my my haul video. You might have already seen it. And what I like is that the guests were just milling about all over the place. They were just walking up and down the thing, and I kept seeing a few others. But I nearly bumped into Venus Terzov. I never spoke to her, but I nearly knocked her off her feet at one point. But she seemed really nice. The only people I actually had stuff signed was I finally got Jeff and Simon to sign my Dragon Claws #1, which I'm going to frame because that's really, really nice. Also, I got Bob to sign my Sleepwalker #1, and asked him at the time when I went up, and I said, "Has anybody else brought one of these up yet?" And he went, "No, nobody's brought one of these up yet." He says it's early days, and apparently in America they do bring someone up in the conventions. But I don't know if anybody else actually brought one of these up, which is the Sleepwalker. And then he told me, bit of an exclusive, that somebody was actually making a film for this. It was like a privately funded film based on the Sleepwalker character. And Bob actually got flown out to do a cameo in this film. So, you might not have heard that, but if you didn't hear that from him when you were at the convention, you've heard it here first. I went into the forge area with a couple of guys, and we were just milling about and talking stuff and looking at all the Brave things. And some of the people that are that brought the stuff into the forge, some of the wares and the artwork was just beautifully made stuff. Some fantastic artwork that these guys were just basically giving it away. It was really, really nice. I bought quite a lot of bits and bobs like badges and artwork and all that kind of stuff, and there were really, really friendly people in there. But there was also the big Brave display, and I'd never heard of Brave before, and I was talking to a few guys about it and how it all combines and does all the rest of it. It's fascinating stuff, and it looks tremendous. Some of it you can see was like prototypes for stuff further down the line, but yeah, really, really fascinating thing that happened that not many Transformer fans know about. Huge, gorgeous collection that somebody had brought in. Just looked fantastic in the glass cabinets. So after the forge, I made my way back to the bar like you normally do, just to see who were in there at the time, and that's when you get this like TFN or whatever. I mean, this UK Transformer phenomenon, what I like to call the tables. The tables is essentially any table that's surrounded by a few chairs, and you get people that just plonk themselves down. And you see it from a distance, and you see the concentration on people's faces when they're taking stuff out of the boxes and out the clamshells, and then they're putting it on the table in front of them. And it's a bit of a tradition that you take it out and then you just put it down so everybody can just like admire it and have a look at it, and people go, oh yeah, oh, and they pick it up, hold it for a little bit. Sometimes some people don't transform it at all, but sometimes people just get straight into it and just want to start looking at it. Some of the tables in that bar were just ridiculously laden with beautiful pieces of plastic. Some people, like one of the guys, he pointed it out and he said, "This is a table over there. It's probably about £5,000 worth of gear on there. There's one over there. It's got about £800 worth, and it's just ridiculous. You just look at it thinking, Christ, look at that! Absolutely amazing. Just seeing all this kind of stuff. You never see this kind of stuff unless you go to these conventions. People just enjoying it, and it's nice that you can just go up to people and start going, "Is that such and such? Is that this?" And you go, "Yeah, that's nice. Can I just hold that? Can I feel it?" And they go, "Yeah, pick it up." And then I ended up being sat on the table, and then Chris and Nat came up with her, and then he started putting on. Oh God, that Megatron that he bought, that was for War of Cybertron one, and then Nat put down. She got some Mastermind Creation stuff, and just oh God, really, really nice stuff. And then by the time you just, I were buying a few little bits and bobs, but I weren't really buying much on the Saturday, I'll be honest. But I'm sat there looking at all this thing and just thinking, this is amazing. Even though I'm not buying all these, it's just amazing that I can hold these Transformers and have a little look at them and just feel them and the quality, and just think, oh God, it's just so nice. So come Saturday evening, the Club Con was on in another hall, which was I think it was the same hall it was in last year, which is like the evening's entertainment, which starts off with the cosplay and all the rest of that. And it's all the cosplayers come out, and it's always really, really good. Some of them put some absolutely fantastic effort into it. As I got in there, the Gaunt brothers.
Special mention as well to Chris, who I forgot to put in my haul video. He did give me my little lad's Steeljaw thingy. What's it? What do they call these things? But he does love it. He loves it very much. Thanks, Chris.
Always get a table. So they got a table last year and a table this year, and they were waving over. So we all went and sat down at this table between them. And there was a young lad in there with his mum at the table as well, and it basically come and sat down with us. And she was a little bit like, and then we were just chatting with her and basically saying that, don't worry, it's all right in wanting to come to these kind of things. Because she was a bit worried about coming to these kind of conventions. And we were just trying to reassure her that it's all right, it's quite healthy, and we're not all strange weirdos. We're actually normal kind of people. We've got families, and we've got decent jobs and all the rest of it. And by the time she was done, she was really, really having a great time. We were having such a really good chat with her. And then young lad were asking about making YouTube videos and all the rest of it. And then because there were quite a few guys around the table who all made YouTube videos, we all just started giving some a bit of advice on that and who the big ones to look for. And it was really, really nice. This young lad, he were having a whaler at times, things that will stay with him forever. But like I say, the cosplay is so good that I'm really tempted to have a crack at it. I really want to do it. I'd love to have a go at it and see if I could actually make a really decent cosplay outfit. After the cosplay was done, they did the script reading, which is always good fun. Mark Ryan was doing it with the guy who did Snarl's voice of Venus Terzo, and Maggie Roswell, is it? And they were fantastic, so good. They were just playing off for each other, and it was just funny, and it was nice. It was really, really good. I'd ended up swapping tables to somewhere else at that point, and ended up talking to a load of people on this other table that had like some Doctor Who stuff and things like that. And then I went down to the bar and met up with all the group that we said we were going to do the unboxing with. So there was going to be Chris and Nat were going to do their unboxing, and then there were Gary was going to do his unboxing that I did. And we did that, and it was absolutely fantastic. Really, really good fun. And then they gave me a box as well. And in the box was some really good stuff. Here's what I got. Anyway, after this was all done, we played a game called Cards Against Humanity, which I've never played this game before. I've heard a few people mention it before, but I've never actually played it before. And we were joined by all the rest of the usual people, loads and loads of people that were there. If you know who you were if you were there, and you know if I were there if you were there. Oh my God! But also ones that had not joined us before, though, it was Jim and his wife, and just the usual group and all the rest of it. It was great fun. But I've got to say that Cards Against Humanity is absolutely disgusting, absolute filth. I've not laughed that much in a long time. Just amazing, so much fun. And there was some real love as well in the room. That everybody was just, nobody took offence to anything. It was like really politically incorrect, but so much fun. That absolutely brilliant. Everybody that was there they put videos of us, because I lost my shit so many times in some of the things that we were saying, that I just wasn't expecting it to go down. It was just such a great day, absolutely fantastic day from start to finish. Anyway, I went to bed about 2, and got up the next day after a pretty decent night's sleep. Had waffles and coffee and juice and a big fry up again. The doors opened to the convention 10 o'clock, I think it was. I did a little bit more bargain hunting and see, like I say, my video that I've already done. More chatting with people. I just chilled out in the bar for a little bit. I went and sat in the bar with a few people at one point, and then I changed over and sat with a few more people. And I think at the end I ended up sitting with Gary Cook's girlfriend for a while, and we just sat and just talked about, because she'd never been to a convention before, and she started to really embrace it and realise that people just have a great time, and it's just really good fun, and that we're not all weirdo nerdy freaks. We're actually just folk trying to have a good time. And I think I left, and the kids got a bit fed up, and they wanted to go home, and I left about 4 or 5 o'clock, and it was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. It was superbly organised. The staff at TFN and the staff at the Hilton, even though there were a little bit of a teething problem at the beginning of the thing, were absolutely brilliant. I can't think of a single thing that either of them couldn't sort out. It was just phenomenal. It was so well done. I mean, I've said it before. For me, I'm a social creature. I went to actually go and talk to people and go and have a bit of a chat, and I just wanted to go there and meet. And if I did it again, I didn't have a penny in my pocket, I'd still have a great time just chatting to folk. Won't be able to drink much beer though if I didn't have any money in my pocket, would I? My only real regrets is that my conversations with some people were quite brief, and I'd like to have had a bit of a longer chat with quite a few other people that I know quite well through the communities. I didn't chat with him for ages, but it's just that those probably 48 hours worth of chatting and doing all the rest of it just probably ain't enough time to just socialise with people. I didn't get enough photos with people. I should have got more photos. I did get some, and then further down the line I just realised that I weren't taking photos. I was just chatting and drinking and having fun, and I should have been taking a lot more photos. And there's a lot of lovely people there, and a lot of people that even though I was chatting to them for ages, I never got a single photo with them, and I'm thinking, oh bloody hell, because you're just too busy chatting, too busy just having a good time. I really should have gone to more panels. I'm definitely go to more panels next time, and I'll definitely do the convention thing. So that's the whole point, I suppose, is to do a bit of the convention. Even if I only go to a couple of the panels, it'd be nice to do that, and I think I definitely will do that next time. One of my biggest regrets is that I didn't actually go and speak to Mark Ryan, and he's from Doncaster, he's from up road, and I feel such a prat that I was going on and on and on about Mark Ryan being there, and then I remember being stood in the hall with Zort Rider, and I was going to go and see him, and then realised I had nothing for him to sign him on me, and I'm thinking, oh, this is stupid. I mean, I should have even brought like my Revenge of the Fallen Blu-ray. He could have signed me that, but I didn't bring that. I just kind of didn't think of anything good that he could have actually signed. I wanted to bring a Robin of Sherwood thing, but unfortunately I didn't get it, so I kind of missed out on that. And everybody said he was such a lovely bloke. I just feel a bit of a prat not really having anything for him to sign. I love that you can just go up to people, and sometimes you can just go up and you can see if somebody's a bit like ooh, sat on their own. And I'll just go up and I'll start talking, and I kind of forget sometimes. I'll go up and there were a guy and he had this transformer on his table, and I picked it up and I went, oh, can I just borrow this for 1 second? He went, yeah, okay. And I went and not realised, and I forget sometimes. Oh, no, stop, calm down, back it up a bit. But I like how you can get somebody that you've never met before, and you can get them to come with you and just join in. And there were people that were joining in with us that were just having a great time. It was just so much fun, just bringing people out the shell a little bit. Occasionally, you do get some people who you try to talk to them, and you get nothing back, and you try and you get nothing, and you think, oh, balls to this. The fun that we had on the Saturday night was pretty much legendary, and everybody that was there had a great time, and we need more nights like that in our lives. We need more nights where we can just go and just be dicks, and it's fine. Nobody takes themselves serious at all. Everybody's just having a brilliant time. Next year, I just want more of the same, but more on top. I just want to do everything that I did before and more. It probably will mean just staying out as much as I possibly can and staying in the thing. Where the first year I went, I think there were quite a few bit of time where I went back to the room and I sat and just chilled for a little bit. And this one I hardly went back at all. There was very little time for me to actually be on my own. I was always with somebody, or just bumping into somebody, or chatting with somebody. There was moments where I was walking down to the hall part and just chatting to somebody on the way down. Never met before in my life. I had quite a few people come up to me and said to me, "You're Hot Rodney, aren't they?" And they know my videos and things like that, which is brilliant. I really like that. I know it happened once last year, but this year quite a few times it came up, and it's just great that we have that, and we have these communities where we can all just get together and we can all be nice to each other, and there isn't any egos in that room. There's nobody in that room who thinks that they're better than anybody else. When you've got the likes of, you've got Thew and Ben and all the rest of them, they are not. They're just normal blokes, and they will mix it up with the rest of us. Nobody thinks that they're better than anyone else. And when they've had a few drinks, it's just all about having a good time, and everybody was just having a great time. I implore you to try and go. And no matter if you've absolutely minted or if you've got a modest budget, you will have a great time. There's no doubt in my mind. It's about meeting new people, and maybe not the ones that go onto Facebook. It's about enjoying the fandom that we have, and respecting people's opinions on it, no matter how extreme that they are about these Transformers. You kind of just let it go. It's about being comfortable with people that respect and love the same fandom that you do. Nobody's judging you at any point. Nobody's looking down on you for being a Transformer collection. You might get people who aren't Transformer fans looking at you thinking, who are these bunch of weirdos? But every single person who's a Transformer fan who were at that convention, who had a band on their arm, nobody was judging anybody else. All I saw all weekend were people genuinely loving each other. And that's not such a bad thing, is it? That's really good. We have to remember this. We have to keep remembering this. When we have moments where we keep looking down on people and judging other people for what they are in this fandom, Remember what it's like when we're at TFN and how nobody gives a shit about anybody else's massive thing that they hang-ups and all the rest of it. Just have a good time. Just be nice to each other. Let's carry on TFN all year round. Let's just be good to each other. These meetups that we're going to have, we need to have these meetups more often. Maybe 2, maybe 3 times a year, something like that. We've got to have a meetup where we all get together and we can all respect each other for what it is. Because I've done one of these little meetups, and it was a small affair, but it was in Birmingham. But it was great fun, and everybody had a great time. But we need to do it more often. I've heard that there might be another convention on the way. I've heard that that there will be TFN official meetups. But we need to do this. We need to be together. We need to be a community. Not just for those 3 days in Birmingham in August, but all the year. Let's do that, yeah? Let's all be a bit more nicer to each other all the year. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my reflections and thoughts and all the rest of it. I did waffle on a little bit. Nobody likes a waffler, unless there's that guy that's in Metropole that makes them put some on a stick. They're amazing. Be nice to each other. I'll see you all later. Hopefully sooner than